Wise words of wisdom, inspirational quotes, IQ. Unveil the ultimate transformation. Embrace Memento Mori. Remember, we die. Today, we explore the transformative world of death and time and become the architects of our own destiny. Let's dive in. Despise not death, but welcome it, for nature wills it like all else. Marcus Aurelius. Death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. Steve Jobs. Memento Mori. Remember death. These are important words. If we kept in mind that we will soon inevitably die, our lives would be completely different. If a person knows that he will die in a half hour, he certainly will not bother doing trivial, stupid, or especially bad things during this half hour. Perhaps you have half a century before you die. What makes this any different from a half hour? Leo Tolstoy. Begin doing what you want to do now. We are not living in eternity. We have only this moment, sparkling like a star in our hand and melting like a snowflake. Francis Bacon. Mostly, it is loss which teaches us about the worth of things. Arthur Schopenhauer. Many people die at 25 and aren't buried until they are 75. Benjamin Franklin. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend to them all the care, kindness, and understanding you can muster, and do it with no thought of any reward. Your life will never be the same again. Og Mandino.
You are watching Wise Words of Wisdom, Inspirational Quotes, IQ, the Inspirational Quotes channel everyone goes to for their daily motivation and to learn from the most successful men and women in history. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you never miss a new episode. Today's sponsor is Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute. Discover the secret to having good luck from America's greatest prosperity teacher, Bob Proctor. 6 Minutes to Success is based on Bob's more than 50 years of research into what makes or keeps people from being successful. Get instant access to the free video right now. The link is in the description. Now let's get back to more great quotes.
In the end, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. Never forget that you must die. That death will come sooner than you expect. God has written the letters of death upon your hands. In the inside of your hands, you will see the letters MM. It means Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. John Furness. Time is an absurdity, an abstraction. The only thing that matters is this moment. Jonathan Nolan. It is not enough to be busy. So are the ants. The question is, what are we busy about? Henry David Thoreau. Don't say you don't have enough time. You have exactly the same number of hours per day that were given to Helen Keller, Pasteur, Michelangelo, Mother Teresa, Leonardo da Vinci, Thomas Jefferson, and Albert Einstein. A. Jackson Brown Jr. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. Death is not the greatest loss in life. The greatest loss is what dies inside us while we live. Norman Cousins. There's never enough time to do nothing. Daniel Radcliffe. Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back. Marcus Aurelius. There is never enough time to do everything, but there is always enough time to do the most important thing. Brian Tracy. Our death is not an end if we can live on in our children and the younger generation, for they are us. Our bodies are only wilted leaves on the tree of life. Albert Einstein. To achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. Leonard Bernstein. When those you love die, the best you can do is honor their spirit for as long as you live. You make a commitment that you're going to take whatever lesson that person or animal was trying to teach you, and you make it true in your own life. It's a positive way to keep their spirit alive in the world, by keeping it alive in yourself. Patrick Swayze. Time stays long enough for anyone who will use it. Leonardo da Vinci. You don't get to choose how you're going to die or when. You can only decide how you're going to live. Now, Joan Baez. On a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to zero. Chuck Palahniuk. The butterfly counts not months but moments, and has time enough. Rabindranath Tagore. When we least expect it, life sets us a challenge to test our courage and willingness to change. At such a moment, there is no point in pretending that nothing has happened or in saying that we are not yet ready. The challenge will not wait. Life does not look back. A week is more than enough time for us to decide whether or not to accept our destiny. Paulo Coelho. Ancient Egyptians believed that upon death, they would be asked two questions, and their answers would determine whether they could continue their journey in the afterlife. The first question was, did you bring joy? The second was, did you find joy? Leo Buscaglia. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. While I thought that I was learning how to live, I have been learning how to die. Leonardo da Vinci. Don't try to add more years to your life. Better, add more life to your years. Blaise Pascal. Well, said Red Jacket to someone complaining that he had not enough time, I suppose you have all there is. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Only put off until tomorrow what you are willing to die having left undone. Pablo Picasso.